Alright, so we back with another video. Today I was going to react to an NBA mock draft, cause I wanted to get into the flow of things, but Mike Korzemba dropped a bomb. He dropped a video going out. I ain't gonna lie, Mike Korzemba, he used to be popping. Like, he had like I think the Lonzo video is what really like trolled his like the vision of what people looked at him as. People kind of start looking at him as more like a hype beast guy. But I'm gonna be honest, Mike Korzemba, he been making these NBA prospect videos for a while, bro. It's not really somebody to be trusted, but it is somebody that has an entertaining take. Now, my thing about this draft class is this is an all-time draft class. You could argue it's in that discussion already in terms of prospects as the best class conversation all time. Now, that's only gonna be solidified if they come into the league and actually prove it. But even then, it'll probably be more of a discussion. I think it could be, but with the combine going on today, a lot of stuff going on, NFL, NBA, it's time to get into that mode. Today we're going to be reacting to this. Y'all do want more of these, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff out the way. Let's get into it.
You were watching AJ DeBonsa, a freshman star who scouts say is the second.
What did that say? Bro, you did that too fast, bro. Like, come on, bro.
A freshman star.
Let me read it. All right, T-Mac is the one that kind of resonates with me. Yeah, I definitely see T-Mac. You definitely can see T-Mac and AJ DeBonsa.
Is the second AJ
DeBonsa compares himself to T-Mac and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know about Shai.
Of Tracy McGrady.
I don't know about Shai.
Is leading all of college basketball with nearly 25 points.
I don't think he really play like T-Mac though. When you watch him, he don't really play like T-Mac, to be real. But he do got similarities. He like his play style isn't T-Mac though.
Game on over
if that makes
53%.
Sense. What the hell is P-Prod? What, bro? What is this? I ain't never seen this. I be hip on all these analytic stats, these random analytic stats. What is this? I have never seen this in my life. Win shares, box plus minus, PRE. I ain't know people were still pushing PR. Points? What the hell is this? PPPG? PPPG? Points per possession a game, I'm guessing? No, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. These two, I have no clue what these are. I have no clue what those are.
He is 9th in the nation in PER. He's the type of future superstar the NBA usually is hyping as its next #1 pick. But AJ might slip all the way to pick number 3 because the 2026 NBA draft is looking scarier by the minute. Teams are now desperately tanking because any one of the top 5 could be a franchise star for the next decade. The actual projected #1 pick, Darren Peterson, scores.
Darren Peterson is not going 1. If he goes 1, even with all this stuff he doing, I ain't gonna lie, he got it. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, he got it, gang. He got it. Cause how, bro? Bro is literally doing everything he possibly can to troll his value. And he's still, it's like, it don't matter, bro. I don't get it.
So smoothly that he's been given the dangerous comparison of Kobe Bryant himself. Caleb Wilson is averaging around 10 at North Carolina. I love Caleb Wilson. Young Kevin Garnett and
like, bro, KG, bro. I don't know if he ever gonna be as good as KG. But in terms of the play style and similarities, it's so clear, bro. It's so clear and obvious.
Projected 4th. Kingston Fleming's just dropped 42 points, and people are saying there are shades of Derrick Rose in his game.
Hell no. Whoever said that shit is chatting, gang. Hell no. Hell no. I ain't gonna lie. This one is chat. Derrick Rose? Hell no. Hell no. You're crazy. You're actually crazy if you believe that. I ain't gonna lie though. Right now, I don't even know if he's the best like guard outside of DP. Like, bro, that guard, bro, the guard depth is crazy, bro. And I like Kingston Fleming. I probably still say he top 5, but right now I don't know if he goes 5th. Like, it's really crazy draft right now, man.
Might go 5th or later.
He may go later.
Even mentioned Cameron Boozer.
Boozer the real one,
is the favorite to win National Player of the Year as a freshman and is having one of the best college basketball seasons we have ever seen. Which means we have a big question.
I don't think people. I don't think people realize how consistent Boozer is as a freshman. Like, coming into this, he was like the most winningest, like, top recruit ever or something like that. And then he comes into college and literally playing like this. My hands are up, bro. I can't lie. I had AJ before the season, definitely as the number one. Boozer is definitely like I already knew he was good, but he's shocking how consistent he can be.
Or are we about to see the NBA change completely from one historic draft? AJ DeBonta is
that's how it works, though. Look at LeBron draft. That's how it works.
Since Kevin Durant in 2007. Looking at the base stats of current NBA All-Stars or better who became top 3 picks, it's KD at 1 and AJ at 2. What's even crazier is when we factor in efficiency, AJ actually has a higher true shooting percentage than Kevin Durant and has been more efficient than the huge names we're looking at. Throw in the fact that he's 6'9" with Tracy McGrady comparisons, that he has a 7-foot wingspan, can attack the basket from anywhere, play make, initiate the offense, rebound at a respectable rate, and we are left asking, how is this not the easy number 1 overall pick? Because AJ is producing like the most complete freshman wing we have seen in over a decade. Scouts say his 2 biggest weaknesses right now are ball handling and 3-point volume. He is averaging
I would say defense. I don't think anything offensively is his weakness, personally. I would say it would be on the defensive side of the ball.
9 turnovers per game, and his dribble can get.
I wouldn't even try to argue anything offensively.
His handle is still more than respectable. And while he is only making 1.3 3-pointers a night, something that will not fly in the modern NBA, he's also shooting 35.9%.
And I don't think the 3-point shit matter too much because he can get to the rim against anybody, bro. Like his size with his athleticism combination with his shot diet, I think he has a very good shot diet. That's the only thing I would say is actually similar to Shea. Especially like Shea a couple years ago, because now Shea kind of, I feel like these last 2 or 3 years, he's kind of going away from like driving as much and became more of a mid-range specialist. Like that 2 to 3 years ago, Shea, I could definitely see that comp because he really is a driver mid-range guy. That's his game.
So honestly, the ability to improve his shot is there. But are these concerns about AJ big enough to overlook everything else? Here's what we need to understand about AJ. He's essentially a basketball prodigy whose game has been nitpicked to death. In 8th grade, he played high school basketball and averaged almost 20 points per game. Then headed into his sophomore year, he generated I
remember when they was giving him bronze comps. Now he is the person that actually deservingly so was getting him, because he was hooping in college.
And future top draft
he was crazy,
like
or not college.
That made AJ a household name, but when talking about dominating players 2 years older than him, AJ said,
I played with the seniors, so I'm 15 playing against like Dylan Harper. Like those guys averaged what, 26? But that wasn't really like a good example of letting everybody eat.
AJ is a winner, and this kind of mindset is special. So is the fact that only 9 freshmen in the last 20 years have averaged at least 23.
Rodney Stuckey was averaging 24? Hey, Rodney Stuckey was hooping. Cam Thomas a real bucket getter, I can't lie. I remember Trey Young. Trey Young was. I remember Trey Young. Michael Beasley was. Hey, Michael Beasley was hooping. I ain't gonna lie. Michael Beasley was hooping.
Points per game in a season.
Man, what happened to Fultz is so crazy. What happened to Fultz is so crazy, bro.
AJ is about to become the
10th.
But when a player has been on NBA radars this long, people stop looking at the positives and focus only on his negatives. That's what's happening to AJ, except so many NBA players have been praising him. Kevin Durant has said, I love him. I was impressed by his size, fluidity, and ball handling. Devin Booker said, you can already
saying
tell
his ball handling is an issue.
Competitive nature comes through in the conversation. And Draymond Green compared him to Anthony Edwards.
He gets downhill like Ant-Man. Like, the way he attacks the basket is like Ant-Man.
A
Shout out to
6'9"
Draymond, but
Anthony
hell
Edwards
no.
with an insane work ethic. In middle school, AJ was doing 3 workouts before 2 p.m. and then finishing the day playing summer league games. BYU had to ban him from the gym over the summer because he was working too much. His dad is a former police officer who made him and
best
his
trait
sisters
you can have
do
as
100
a
push-ups a day, going as far as to install cameras in their house to
that
hold
or
them
be
accountable.
clutch.
AJ once got a C- in 6th grade, so his dad
Work
drove him
ethic may
6
be the
hours
one,
to
though.
an AAU game, let him warm up,
Especially if
and
you're a
then
prodigy
had the coach
already.
bench him to
Like
teach him
extremely
a
gifted
lesson.
player.
In other words, AJ has been taught you need to work hard to be great, and that discipline keeps showing itself. AJ began this year averaging 20.9 points over his first 10 games. In his last 15 against better competition, he is averaging 26.
Now, that's the thing about AJ. I said this in the mock draft I did. Bro, the thing is with AJ, he been playing against real comp teams. Real comp teams. He been playing even better, which is why I'm like, okay. He's had bad games against comp, though, this year. That's the thing. Boozer, genuinely, in my opinion, has had no real bad games. Like, even a bad shooting game, he would had one of his best defensive games of the season. So it's like, Boozer is really tough to really even try to gauge, man. Won't lie.
7. He has the physical tools.
The real number
He's
one
only
draft
getting
pick is
better.
AJ
And if this is what he
eyes.
looks like right
I'm not
now,
mad at
then what
he got
are
the
scouts
elite
seeing
traits.
that makes Darren Peterson the projected number 1 overall pick? Darren Peterson is becoming
probably
one
the
of
best
the
scoring
biggest
prospect
mystery
we've seen in a
prospects we
long
have
time.
ever seen. Just weeks ago, he had the label of a generational scorer. Guys like Doug Gottlieb have said Peterson is the closest thing to Kobe Bryant they have ever seen. Sports Illustrated said his playstyle compares to Kobe, while his potential development will resemble Anthony Edwards. But with that said,
He remind me of
we're
Shea.
starting to see tweets like this pop
Personally.
up. Billy, this is Darren Peterson. He's a 6'5", 200-pound pure scorer and is a matchup nightmare. Only problem is, he hates playing basketball.
If I were a general manager, I would be extremely concerned about Darren
I don't really
Peterson.
get
Darren
it.
Peterson has played 12 of 24 games this year in college basketball, and it's been everything from an injury, checking himself out of second halves of games. Nobody knows, nobody wants to talk about it. It don't feel like he really wants to be there. And maybe this is a byproduct, KP, of when kids get paid NIL and they get money up front, right? If that's the way it goes, it's like, well, if I don't want to be here, I get my money up front, then I can check out when I want to check out. That's what this feels like.
Yes, there is now a shadow of a doubt cast over Darren Peterson, as he is simply not playing in enough college basketball games. At first, we were told that this was due to nagging injuries, and maybe this was even a positive. If he's really been playing hurt, then averaging 19.8 points per game in the 14 games he's played this year would
His
be
scoring
incredibly
ability is
impressive.
crazy.
Especially because Darren Peterson has showcased an NBA-ready jumper. He's been knocking down 2.7 threes a game on over 41% shooting from deep, and let's be honest, this shot just looks so
His
smooth.
shot-
And
his
when he's
shot
on
is so
game,
good, too,
Peterson
bruh.
can score seemingly at will. He has elite athleticism that lets him blow by defenders and finish over anyone at the rim.
When I watch
He
his
also
game, I
has
don't
the
see elite
control to
athleticism,
score
though.
from anywhere
I
on the
definitely see
court.
an
In high
athlete,
school, when
but
he
it seems
played
so
AJ
easy.
Devontae
I don't even think
directly,
he be using his
Peterson came in
athleticism
ranked
at all.
lower than
That's the
AJ
crazy
and
part about
scored
him.
61
He don't need it.
points to show everyone it is Darren Peterson who should be the number 1 pick. His upside is unreal, and in college, Jay Billis thinks it's been more of the same.
I mean, the last guy I could say that I feel like scored it as easily as Peterson was
Kevin
Kevin
Durant.
Durant. When Durant
Probably.
came out, you knew, okay, he's
That's probably the
gonna
last
be
like
the star
scoring
at some
product
point. And you
product
feel kinda
that was
like
as
that
good as
about Peterson.
AJ
But
Buster. Not
here's
AJ
the
Buster.
issue.
What is his name?
People are beginning to
Peterson.
wonder if Darren isn't actually hurt, but instead has taken his NIL money and doesn't really want to compete for
Yeah, he don't
Kansas.
care about
the reason
college.
for this is that before
just don't.
playing number 1 Arizona, Peterson surprisingly decided to sit out, and a text message from a person with perceived inside knowledge went viral. The text read, "So he's sick and didn't tell anyone in practice, and Kansas coach Bill Self said, don't half it if you're gonna play. If not, sit." DP said, "F it, I'm out." Fans are worried about this. They think we might be looking at another Ben Simmons type of situation. A
Now, the
prospect
Ben Simmons
with a ton
situation
of
was way
talent
different
who
because he
doesn't
just
care
wasn't even
enough
going to
about
class. He was
basketball
at least
and doesn't
playing.
care enough about
This
winning.
nigga
Let's
genuinely
remember
just don't
what
wanna play.
separates the true greats is
I ain't
a
never seen nothing
continued
like
work
it,
ethic for
honestly.
10+ years.
Bro be
We need
literally
any
coming out of the
reminders about
games
that? Let's look at
where
a
he be
guy
going
like
crazy.
Zion. At LSU,
Like,
Ben
he would be
Simmons
averaging
was a
way more
first-team
right now if he was
All-American,
taking it
but he
serious.
never went to class. His team failed to make the NCAA tournament, and those should have been red flags that we paid attention to. So that is why people are starting to turn.
I'll be
on
real,
Darren
though, the
Peterson.
Ben
We
Simmons
also
joint,
have to
he
note,
just didn't care about
currently
going to
Peterson
class.
is averaging more
He was
turnovers
actually
than assists
practicing
per game.
and
He's
playing
averaging
and
just
stuff like that.
1.6 assists, which is 2 less.
I don't
than
even know if
AJ.
bro
And
is
after a
practicing.
recent
If he don't even
4
play the
10-point
games,
showing
what's
versus
to say
Iowa
he's
State,
practicing?
Reddit went crazy, stating, "I think it's pretty clear that this guy's not giving 100%. Teams are tanking for this. How can anyone possibly have this guy at number 1? Only, is this an overreaction? Maybe Darren Peterson really has just been injured.
It's not overreaction.
Kyrie Irving only played in 11 games for Duke before he went number 1, and
Oh,
against
he's chatting. This is diabolical. Bro, Kyrie Irving, for reference, had a torn ACL. For reference. He's wilding. This is diabolical.
AJ and BYU.
Not even the same-
Peterson
I've
and
never
AJ
seen anything
scored
like this.
17 points, but Darren had to sit out the second half. So in just one half, Peterson showed insane upside. He knocked down 3 threes, but what's
Yeah,
even
that game
more
against
impressive
BYU,
was
that's when I seen that, like, if you really want to be real, he probably is better than AJ. Not even gonna lie, he probably actually is. His team is also better than BYU, debatably, I would say. But He probably is. He probably just is better than AJ. To be honest.
Let's watch here.
But
as
his
on an
situation,
incredible
I don't
drive
know
to
if
the
you can trust
basket.
it.
Against multiple defenders, Peterson switches
So
hands
easy.
at the rim for a finish. Then
It's
a few
so
minutes later,
easy.
he gives us a look at his fadeaway mid-range game.
And, no, he hates
Smooth
AJ
and
though.
in
You know how
control. And
Wemby and Chet hate each other? He hates AJ. Like in college or not college, at the end of high school, go look at what he was doing to bro. He
cap
hates
it
bro.
all off.
He literally
We have
hates
this
bro.
drive to the basket where he throws it down over a poor BYU
Like-
big man. When we
like,
watch
bro,
Peterson's
I'll
game,
be honest,
it speaks for itself.
like, he
And all
can do everything
reports on the
offensively.
side say that he
Scoring
does
wise,
have an
he can
elite
do
work
everything.
ethic. So maybe this mystery
He low key might be the KD of guards. Think about KD. He can do anything on the basketball court as a scorer. Think about that. But like, just think about KD if he was smaller but was much more athletic.
is just overblown and will solve itself by March.
not gonna
Darren
be
still
fair,
has
bro.
plenty of time to prove
If he
that
actually take
is
basketball
the
serious in
number
the
one guy,
league, it's
and
not
the
gonna be fair.
worst he's going to fall to is number 3, which raises a question for us though. How is it possible that Caleb Wilson, a freshman who is compared to Kevin Garnett, is not going to be a top 3 pick? Because Caleb Wilson
think he's
was
gonna be top
supposed
3.
to be a raw athlete who still had to figure out how to get the most out of his ability. But then when we compare Caleb's stats to college stars such as Zion, Anthony Davis, Evan
Caleb
Mobley,
Wilson been
Chet
so
Holmgren,
good,
and
bro.
Cooper Flag, we see that Caleb belongs right on this list, which already tells us so much about his
love
production.
Caleb Wilson
But in
game, bro.
terms of his mentality,
Whoever
before
get
the
him gonna
second
get a
game of
sneak.
this season, Caleb
They
and
gonna
North
get a
Carolina
sneaky
were
one, bro.
set to
Because
play
hey,
Kansas.
he played all these boys. He outplayed every single one of them when he played them. Every single
Caleb
one.
was quoted as saying, "Bro, this stuff matters to me. I was mad all week. First of all, they say they got someone on the other team who's better than me. And then also, it's Kansas, and we haven't beat them in 23 years. This is personal." The other player was
I'm telling you,
Darren
bro. He
Peterson.
got all
Not
them
only did North
KG
Carolina
traits too,
take
bro.
a
Like he really
13-point
like
win,
he
breaking that
really like
23-year
got like
streak.
all
But
them
Caleb
KG traits.
outplayed Darren,
Genuinely.
finishing with 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals on 9 of 11 shooting from the field. This gave him immediate national exposure, and he proved when the lights are bright, he is.
Then he
ready
played
to
either
stay.
AJ or Boozer like right
now,
after
the
and
one
hooped
thing
on them.
missing from Caleb's game is a consistent 3-point shot. Caleb is making only 0.3 threes a game and shoots 25.9% from deep. In the modern NBA, that won't cut it. But jump shots can be improved, and taking a look at his game versus Florida State,
And looking at
we
his
see
midi, he
just
got a
how
smooth
dominant
shot. He got a
Caleb
smooth jump
already
shot, in my
is. He
opinion.
is a very
I think there's
comfortable with the
definitely
ball in his
potential
hands
for the
and has
jump shot
great
to come
floor
for the
vision,
3 ball.
showing us that almost immediately with this pass for an open 3. Then here on an out of bounds play, we see where that Kevin Garnett comp begins, because yeah, he has the defense, but he also has this insane fadeaway. And okay, now we're in transition. Caleb's leading the charge, and after a missed layup, we have the putback.
Relentless
dunk.
effort
Caleb dunked
motor,
a lot in
I
this
think
game.
it's his
He is an
real
athletic
craziest thing, but his
menace. And so to
athleticism with
cap things
defense is
off,
so
here is a
stupid.
play that will almost certainly
And by
be
far, he's
featured on
by far
any
the
of
best
his
defensive
college
prospect out of
highlight
4.
tapes.
Not even close. Not even close. Like
This game
seeing
was
bro
also
get compared to
nothing
Pascal
new.
Siakam.
Caleb
is-
Wilson is second in the
crazy.
entire nation in dunks with 67 in 24 games, almost 3 dunks a night. In every game he plays, his athleticism shines, but he is not the raw type of athlete we were told he was. In fact,
Not even
Caleb
close.
has a remarkably consistent game. He is averaging 19.4 points per game this year, but the most points he's scored in a single game this season is just 26. However, he's also scored 20 or more points.
He's very
in
consistent.
17 of North Carolina's 24 games. You can pretty much write in a 20 and 10 stat line for him every night. And this combo may mean that the number 4 pick might be too low for Caleb, even with all of the talent ahead of him.
He's not
He's
gonna be
an
20 and 10
athletic
going into
freak
the
who is
NBA
also
off rip
fifth
though.
in
I
the
will say
entire
that.
NCAA in PER,
He not.
and 3rd in box score plus minus. His ceiling is truly
He may be like
tremendous.
15 and 8
so
day one.
Will scouts regret not
Maybe not
ranking
even
a
15.
Kevin Garnett type clone higher? We're going to see. But now we have an even bigger question. Caleb Wilson has been a top 10 recruit since 2022, but with Kingston Flemings, let's ask, how much credit should we give a player who starts at 0 and then skyrockets up the draft board? Because nobody had Kingston Flemings as even a top 10 pick. In fact, Kingston was the 3rd rated recruit in Houston's 2025 recruiting class and was not even guaranteed to be a starter this season. To begin the year, Tankathon did not have Kingston as a first-round pick, but now both ESPN and Tankathon have him going number 5. Most drafts have a guy like this, someone who
D-Rose
rises
comp is hilarious. Whoever the hell said that,
season,
I don't know what's going on.
Sometimes these guys hit it big. In his first season at UCLA, Russell Westbrook averaged just 3.4 points per game and was not on people's draft boards. By the end of his sophomore year, he had become the number 4 overall pick. Kingston is having a similar rise, but he's doing it in year 1. He also is lightning quick and probably the fastest downhill guard in the draft. And Houston is the number 2 team in the nation, as Kingston is leading them in points per game, assists per game, and steals per game. And while scouts did not expect this, those close to Kingston did, because Kingston's mentality is he needs to win like he needs to breathe. When he was just 3 years old, Kingston was run over by a car in a near fatal accident, and ever since that day, his brother has said he has become the most competitive person alive. But what sets him apart on the court? His speed and his control. Fleming's ability to blow by any defender is amazing to watch. What has skyrocketed him up this year's draft board was a 42-point game against Texas Tech and an 8-steal game versus Florida State. But just looking at his best games would be too easy for us. So instead, let's focus on Houston versus Auburn, where we can really get a feel for Kingston's game. Right away, we see that he scores through a mixture of his insane speed and then touch.
I definitely don't see D Rose though. I don't know what that's
connect. Now, Kingston
I'm not gonna lie,
against Oakland on this dunk, his head was near the rim, but that is not what his game is really about. Back to Auburn, we have a very nice dump-off pass, as Kingston is always found making the right play. He doesn't always need to go all the way to the basket. His mid-range game is already filthy, as after a blow-by, we watch that mid-range jumper connect. And then in the clutch,
I'm not really mad at the Fox
the
one.
ball. Using his biggest weapon, he just simply dashes by a defender for an easy layup. And then ISO situation, ball in his hands again, another mid-range jumper that helps seal this game for Houston. Kingston isn't just
looked
fast,
very
he is
foxy right
fast
there.
without losing his balance.
But I feel like
Because
Fox
of
may
this,
be a little
out of
too
every
low.
freshman in the last 20 years, Kingston Flemings has a top 10 box score plus minus. These physical tools and ability to score.
Y'all see
Flemings
Boozer, right? Y'all see Boozer, right? His shit is the second highest. Only Zion has higher. And Zion low key, in terms of profile, hey bro, I ain't gonna lie. Zion in college, he was literally he was literally like, that shit was just OP, bro. I'm not gonna lie. His athleticism with his finishing ability, there was nobody in college really trying to guard that bullshit. I'll be real. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. Nobody in college was trying to guard that game. So I can understand Zion being one. I'm surprised Anthony Davis ain't one, to be real. AD was crazy. But that just show you how good Cam Boozer was, bro. Or is right now.
These physical tools and ability to score from multiple
Like,
places
he's so
on
consistent.
the court have risen him to pick number 5. However, when we have a rise like this, we can often find a boom or bust prospect. So the only question is going to be, what is Kingston's ceiling in the NBA? But speaking of analytics, we need to talk about Cam Boozer, because Cam is having one of the best
Like, literally,
advanced
Boozer
stat
is an
seasons we have
analytics
ever
demon,
seen
gang.
from a freshman.
Like, especially with the way the league going, I don't see how he don't go one.
Boozer back from being the guaranteed number 1 pick is top tier explosiveness. But in a world where Luka and Jokic are NBA skilled megastars, why are we still holding this against guys like Cam? We already saw in this video that against the best of the best college basketball big men in recent memory, Cam's 22.8 points, 10 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.7 steals more than hold up. But he's also shooting 39.4% from 3 and making 1.5 threes a game. With that kind of passing and that kind of shooting, his transition to the modern NBA should be seamless. And then when we look at Cam's advanced stats versus the best college basketball bigs we've recently seen, we find that Cameron Boozer is an absolute standout, as he is this draft's analytic monster. And so in order to understand Cam's game, I want to highlight
him using PER is
Against
actually blowing me. I ain't seen nobody use that in like 10 years.
Boozer is already
I ain't gonna lie.
Facing up out of
It's been a long time
he
since I seen
hammers
people
the
actually
ball
like
to the rim,
unironically
and
use
it's an
PER.
easy spin for him and a bucket. Cam is as elite as they come in the post. We could watch countless highlights of him eating
Don't even get me
defenders
started on
alive
defensive box
there.
plus
But
minus.
in the modern
Big,
NBA,
bro.
he is going
That's
to
when it
need
really
a
gets
face-up
ignorant.
game as well. So let's watch as he hits here with a quick fake and then a very pretty finish at the basket, showing us some advanced
Like,
footwork.
feel for
Cam is
the
also just
game
a
at
freight
that
train.
size.
On this drive,
Like,
he
I
just
don't
puts
even
his
know
shoulder
what the
down,
argument is, bro.
outmuscles the defender,
He has
forces
an
his way to the
incredible
rim,
feel for the
and
game at that
scores with
size,
his
bro.
amazing touch. He also
He has
is
a point
always
guard feel feel for the game at 6'10".
As we see here with
And he's a big man. He's not a point guard. He's a legitimate big man. He has a legitimate big man game.
Again, like I mentioned before, Cameron Boozer eats out of post-up situations, and that's because he always makes the right play. Here we see it post-up, boom, Cam finds the open man for a score. And then we have another post-up, and Cam does it again. Another easy basket.
I don't even know how this is even debatable.
How great Cameron Boozer's court
he has an
vision
all-around
and
game.
decision-making are, because
not really
this
any
is
flaws.
what sets
The only
him
thing you
apart.
could probably
A
say is
winning style
athleticism.
and extreme skill set that helped Cam be named both Gatorade National Player of the Year and Mr. Basketball USA as a senior, and also as a high school sophomore. Yes, Cam is also a high school prodigy who in college, get this, leads the nation in PER, offensive, defensive, and total win shares, and box score plus minus. Because he is giving us one of the best seasons by a freshman we have ever seen, it should be no surprise that Cam is the easy favorite to win National Player of the Year this season.
Both the top two are freshmen.
It should be no surprise that Cam is
both of the top two are freshmen. He's not. It shouldn't even be debatable between those two. Though it's definitely Cam. Cam definitely deserve it. Cam definitely deserve it. Especially with the games, the teams that he's doing it against consistently, bro.
Favorite to win National Player of the Year this season. Cam's entire life, he has dominated, even though he is not the most athletic guy in the court, because he's an absolute unit with top-tier basketball IQ. We have seen this translate to the NBA time and time again. And so, for the first time in years, there is no safe answer for who the #1 pick should be.
Bro.
In this year's NBA draft, someone is going to make the right decision, and their franchise will be rewarded for over a decade. But if a team makes
just
the
knowing how to
wrong
use your
decision,
body
people
to
are
get
going
to
to lose
the
their
spots on the floor to
jobs.
give you the
The
offensive
stakes
advantage.
are that high. And there we have
Without
it. Thank you
having
for
a
watching.
foul
I hope you
bait, by the
enjoyed
way.
today's video. If you did,
I don't even know what we talking about with Cam Boozer, bro. I'll be real. Like, it's just over discussion at that point. Cooper Flag is doing something only Michael Jordan did. W thumbnail and title. I give you that, bro. I give you that. The 2026 draft is the NBA's worst nightmare. Why would we be having nightmares about a good thing? That don't make sense. But yeah, hey, shout out to Mike Korzemba, bro. May gotta do me some more. Okay, he did another one. NBA draft is about to break the NBA. Okay, so you did. Okay, I see what's going on here. But yeah, that was a good video. He says some Mike Korzemba things. You gotta be real. It's Mike Korzemba, but hey, for the most part, bro, W video, put a lot into it. Gotta give him credit for it. May react to some more of these. I'm gonna try to give me an NFL one. I don't know if anybody's making NFL content to this level though, to be real. So we'll see. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Out the way. No more talking. I'm out of here.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!